Welcome back. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi said that the Egyptian state is committed to respecting and protecting the personal freedoms, the right of the political participation, and the freedom of expression. This came during the launch of the National Strategy for Human Rights at the new administrative capital, a gathering which was attended by a number of ministers, state officials, and representatives of human rights and the civil society groups. The details.
President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi announced 2022 Year of Civil Society as he launched on Saturday the National Strategy for Human Rights. In a speech at the launch of the strategy from the new administrative capital, the president urged the civil society to continue working hard side by side with the state institutions to achieve sustainable development in all fields. He also urged the sector to cooperate with the state institutions to spread awareness of the human rights culture and to contribute to achieving the aspirations of the Egyptian people. Sisi hailed the role of the civil society as key and important in enhancing and protecting human rights at the political, economic, and social levels. He added that the civil society organizations contribute to spreading awareness of human rights in society and the culture of volunteer work and efforts to combat extremism and trends against the values of the Egyptian people. He added that he directed the government to reconsider the earlier civil society law and therefore a new law was issued. Sisi said the new law, which came into force earlier this year, has included facilitations and guarantees that enhance civil work after a societal dialogue involving 1,300 Egyptian and foreign NGOs was conducted. The president added that Egypt welcomes differences in opinions as long as they respect the freedoms of others and aim through constructive criticism to achieve the better for the country and the people. Sisi meanwhile said the Egyptian state is committed to respecting and protecting personal freedoms, the right of political participation, the freedom of expression, and the right of the formation of civil society organizations. He stressed that Egypt welcomes differences in opinions as long as they respect the freedoms of others. Sisi affirmed that the Egyptian state will continue to exert the utmost efforts at the level of the freedom of religion and belief. Citing the issuance of a law on the construction and restoration of churches as an example, the president said the state has achieved remarkable progress to ensure equality among the children of one nation in rights and duties. The president ended by saying, standing side by side in the new administrative capital, Al-Fattah al-Alim Mosque and the Nativity of Christ Cathedral harmonized as witnesses to those achievements.
Speaking at the event, Foreign Minister Samah Shukri said that the state has prepared the National Strategy for Human Rights through scientific and consultative approaches. Over the course of the year, Shukri said the state has studied the human rights recommendations put forth by Egypt's National Council for Human Rights and coordinated with more than 30 ministers and bodies to assess the requirements of their implementation. The minister added that the consultative approach included expanded community dialogue and hearings, including the National Council for Human Rights, the Parliament's Human Rights Committee, civil society groups, and others. Also on Saturday, Adil Al-Assoumi, the Speaker of the Arab Parliament, hailed President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi's launch of Egypt's National Strategy for Human Rights, stressing that it represents a great step to boost the human rights scheme in Egypt, as it reflects the political leadership's will to revert the human rights concepts and values. Al-Assoumi added that the participation of many Egyptian institutions in the preparation for this strategy over a year reflects the efforts exerted in order to set a national strategy based on the global standards. Al-Assoumi asserted that the Arab Parliament is concerned with boosting the human rights system in the Arab world, confirming that the Egyptian national strategy will be one of the main references. In his speech at the event, Egypt's permanent representative to the United Nations office in Geneva, Ambassador Ahmed Ihab Gamal said that the new strategy for the human rights guarantees the civilian and the political rights and leads to the building of a state of law that benefits Egypt and its people.